Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. I'm pretty sure it's the 25th today of October. Jerry wanted to say hi. He was getting requests for one of his cameos. So he is here to tell you that he appreciates all the fan mail he gets. He's developing quite the little ego with it, aren't you, bud? You're not going outside. So he wants to go outside because it's kind of nice out there. And so he feels that if he meows long enough, somebody will let him out. And somebody probably will, but not right now, little boy. Okay, so. Oi. I have no words. Okay, I just don't have any. And those who know me well know that that just like almost never happens. So the DOJ is investigating the DOJ. That makes perfect sense. We're going to do a bit of a deep dive right now on what the heck is going on there. And I want to take a look, at kind of Bill Barr and what's going on with him. And I want to take a look at this John Durham, who has been, from what I understand, kind of put in charge of investigating the investigators with regards to the origin of the Russia probe, because too many people are saying Russia was behind it, and Trump doesn't like that. And so they have to figure out a way to make reality an alternative. All right? Come on down. Let's see what we can figure out. Let's start maybe with DOJ. What is your story? Well, okay, so the Fool is riding over this, which means that, first of all, not only is he behind this, he has manipulated this into being, he has demanded this into being, he has insisted this into being. All right. So the bottom line here is that Trump doesn't like what he's hearing. It gets him upset. It gets him angry. Barr was running around the globe trying to get other countries to basically support this ridiculous conspiracy theory and, confirm that their illusion actually was a reality. So like yesterday, or I think it was maybe the day before, the news came out of Italy that whoever sort of the counterpart was that Barr was, connecting with in Italy, had come out and told his government officials that no, in fact, Italy had nothing to do with this. Their intelligence does not in any way support what Barr is trying to prove. And that basically, go away, get out of Italy, and don't bother us with your nonsense anymore. And I think that happened in a couple of other places. So Trump got upset. And so he is demanding that, justice be served. He literally, this is Trump trying to set up a situation where he can go after his enemies. The DOJ the people who work hard in the Department of Justice, those people, the career people, they've been there forever. They've worked under a multitude of administrations. They have witnessed, not are witnessing, but literally have witnessed the reputation, the promise, the power, the respect that the American Department of Justice once had, literally sailing away from them. The boat has left the dock, okay? And they're now in a position where, in some ways, they're just sort of counting the days until this insanity stops, because they're cognizant of the fact that it cannot continue this way, but they are also mindful of the fact that their leader, Bill Barr, is off on a mission, and he's determined to make this mission successful. It's not going to bear fruit the way they want or anticipate it is going to bear fruit. It's not going to come together in a way that he desires. Not only Bill Barr desires, but that Trump himself desires. Because you can only get so far with innuendo. And when it comes to actually hard facts, that's a slightly different matter. And Bill Barr is the arbitrator of what is a fact. So he can say that Martians have invaded the Earth, and in his opinion, that is a fact, and DOJ needs to now go investigate it. And honestly, that is about ridiculous as what he has done now. He is sicking an investigator onto his investigators, onto his department. It is insanity. There is not going to be a victory. There's just not. The investigation is going to turn up even a few things that nobody knew so far, and you can bet they're going to be working very hard at burying that information somewhere. And in some ways, it's actually, there's a little bit of a silver lining in this, in that they are now going to be able to convene a grand jury. A grand jury is the one that they present their case to, and they say, yes, you have reason to go ahead and charge, or you don't. And that's not going to work out so well for them. It's not, okay? So they're trying to pass judgment. He's trying to pacify, Trump. He's running around, and honestly, his not only has the reputation and the standing of the DOJ diminished, but his has fallen right through the floor. Okay, like there is not a way to make this turn out well for him. It's simply not going to. They are celebrating, okay, in the White House, those kind of crazy people in the Department of Justice who are buying into this theory, they are celebrating. They consider this a good day. They loved the timing of it because it took the attention away from the March of Fools and the backlash over that, including some Republicans who were involved in that literally the next morning. So that would have been yesterday morning, I guess, coming out and saying, I really regret that happened. Now, of course, that's not, the Jim Jordan crowd, but some of the others. So they needed to pull the attention away from that a little bit. And they needed to pull the attention away from some of the testimony that's going on. And if you can believe it, and I'm really clear about this, they wanted to draw attention away from Elijah Cummings' funeral. May he rest in peace. I have received information that he has passed into the light gently and comfortably, and he's good. Okay, so for any of you who were concerned about that, he seems to be in a good place. And he is out of pain. He is healthy and strong and ready to get to work helping from the other side. His mission continues. But Trump didn't like him. And Trump wants to steal his thunder. And so that was part of the timing of this announcement, because they have had this in their back pocket for a little while now, at least a couple of weeks. And so, because this was sort of the next card they were going to play when they couldn't get these other countries to agree to participate in this insanity of a conspiracy theory. So they had this in their back pocket, and they were just waiting for a time to pull it out where it would have sufficient punch so that it would distract from the other stuff that was in the news, and more importantly, it would give the base something to feast on, because, you know, the news hasn't been all that good for the base lately. The men and women of the DOJ have their heads down. They're working hard. They're trying to get done what they need to get done. They are aware of being continuously under attack. That sense of camaraderie, that sense of, you know, we're strong, we're united, we trust each other, that has dissipated because of the continual attacks. And they are very much aware that they are almost like being used as pawns. And they don't like it, but you know, what are they going to do about it, right? I mean, they have to try to ride this thing out. They have to believe in their hearts that the messages of truth will at some point come through and being revealed. And make no mistake, once Trump is out of office, a lot of this stuff that is not seen the light of day yet is absolutely going to see the light of day going forward. So in some ways, they're just trying to keep their heads down, fly under the radar, and they're waiting. They're waiting until it is actually safe for them to speak out. And because the department they work for has now been so incredibly corrupted by not only Trump, but of course by Barr, you know, they realize that it's either like, okay, give up a career, or, you know, try to ride this thing out and continue to collect information, continue to try to do your job, and continue to be mindful of the things that are not appropriate, that are going on in that department, so there can be some record. If this continues, it honestly would not surprise me if people got wound up enough and upset enough that they decided to carry the message forward to expose it to the light of day. You conceivably may see a late term whistleblower coming in and start telling the truth of what he knows, start sharing with the committee some of the stuff that is going on behind the scenes. I don't see that happening this week or next week. I see it happening a little bit further into November. The timing is really iffy on that. It could even be longer than that. But the reality is that there are people there who see what's going on, they know what's going on is wrong, and they're doing their level best to try to figure out how to get this information out to people who need to have it, and still, frankly, continue to protect themselves and protect the department, because William Barr is literally like a wrecking ball in the Department of Justice. I don't know why he is so beholden to Trump, but we're sure going to try to find out. But he is, and he's not going to do anything at this point in time to try to, like, save himself or his department. He is completely under the spell of Trump. And even to some degree where he actually maybe knows that some of this stuff is not cool, his own twisted ideas of what is and is not are really putting him in a position where, you know what, he's not going to change his tune anytime soon. Let's take a look at good old Bill Barr. Current Bill Barr, current Bill Barr, current Bill Barr. Yeah. He is actually... Okay, so see, this is the thing. This is the thing about Bill Barr. He has now convinced himself that he is the second most powerful person, you know, I don't know, on the planet, maybe third, you know, maybe after Trump and after Putin. He's right there. And so he has almost started to mimic that sort of strongman and dictator-ish like attitude within his own persona. So this is how he deals with meetings. This is how he is implementing things. He really does see himself as the final arbitrator of all that needs to be known about what is going on in the government and stuff that doesn't need to be known. He is very, very, very happy to bury, to keep it under wraps, to flat out deny it, and to besmirch, insult, and denigrate any other person that gets in his way. He feels very much like he made his bed and now he is sleeping in it. But make no mistake, this is not a bed of straw he is sleeping on. It is a bed of, you know, in 50% comfort, because he really thinks that some of the stuff that's going on is the way it should be. And the other stuff that's going on, he's actually trying to convince himself that sometimes, you know, you have to break things in order to rebuild them. He can't get away from Trump. Okay, he's attached to him too securely now. He has done his bidding for too long. There is literally not a way for him to push back. And so he carries this burden and he continues to do things that he knows are wrong, that are not in the interest of the country. But frankly, they are in his interest and they are in Trump's interest. And that is where, you know, he feels he's in the right. A long time ago, when Bill Barr's name was initially being, you know, floated as Attorney General, I did a reading and I remember saying that he has the ability to listen to people and hear what they say and even nod as if he is in agreement, and then completely dismiss all of it and continue on the way he wanted to anyways. So he gives that illusion of sort of being a team player, but he's absolutely not. He is actually more of a sort of dictatorship. He lives in fear of things being exposed, things that he doesn't want exposed. He cannot get over the feelings that this is going to come back and bite him. But he is so far down the path, he doesn't have anybody who thinks he is strong enough to stand up to Trump and say, I am resigning on principle, is themselves living in an alternative reality. Okay, it's not going to happen. He will take as many slings and arrows, as many stabs in the back as he has to, because he is in service. Make no mistake. This is going to end badly for him. At some point, the knives are going to come out. At some point, judgment is going to be rendered. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be rendered in a way that looks so good for him. He has stuff that he wants hidden. He has personal stuff that he really, really does not want to come to light. And to be fair, he has managed to do some serious damage. You know, he completely altered the narrative on the Mueller investigation. He clamped down with an iron fist on the Epstein situation. He has not a problem in the world going after his own people. And make no mistake, he is going to continue to try to move forward with the agenda that he has been given. And on some level, he knows it's not going to work well for him, but he doesn't appear to be prepared to figure out a way out of it. He just doesn't. Yeah, he is in service to the White House. He will follow his leader, and he will basically listen to what he is told and do what he is told. Let's take a quick look at this John Durham. I've never heard of the guy's name before, so, you know, not quite sure who he is or what his history is or what he does. But I want to take a quick peek and see exactly how much of a team player he's going to be and how much of his reputation he is prepared to put on the line. From what I understand, he is quite well respected. He is quite well liked. So I guess the question becomes, is he likely to kneel before the altar of Trump? Or is he going to hang on to his reputation and his standing within the community that he has, you know, practiced in or been a part of for a very, very long time? Let's take a quick look. John Durham, John Durham, John Durham. Okay, I'm sorry. Do not expect him to be independent and moving forward. He's going to have at his disposal a lot of tools in his toolbox that he can use, and he will use them to try to sort of figure out how to literally serve his interests and his masters. And I use the term literally, his master. It's not probably going to go so well. You know, he's going to end up walking away. He's going to find almost more secrets than even he himself can tolerate. But I don't see a resigning in protest situation coming for him. If anything, I see a sort of dragging of the feet, trying to slow things down a little bit in the hopes that the impeachment inquiry will move forward. And just sort of almost like take some of the heat off of him. But I fear that the impeachment inquiry for right now is actually going to put a fair bit of heat on him. There is some aspect of him that really would like things to go back the way they were, but I'm not sure if that means the way they were 4 years ago, or if it means the way they were, a couple decades ago. So it's going to be interesting watching him as he tries to render judgment, understanding that he himself is going to be a victim of the fall. So frankly, it's not such great news for him at this point. Can that change? Can he find a spine? Can he push back? Well, he has the potential to. It just frankly doesn't look like it's going to happen, anytime in the next couple weeks or months. I want to do one more really quick card throw, because I'm just curious to know at this time, and this is early days, but what the potential is for this thing to actually be successful, or was taken seriously, or literally was this more of a follow the big shiny red ball than we realize. And I'm not kidding. There's going to be so many shiny red balls flying around that it's going to be hard to keep track of them bouncing all over the place and doing what they do. With every day, more balls come into play. If more red balls get thrown out there to try to distract from what it is people are actually looking at. Success of investigation, success of investigation, success of investigation. Okay, it's not looking like they're going to continue to try and strong arm, literally, information from other countries. They're going to really, really push the boundaries, and in fact, in some ways, overstep the boundaries. They're not going to get the news they want to hear. They're really, really not. So then the question becomes, well, do we manipulate more stuff and do we create another alternative reality? Or do we, just kind of keep talking and saying stuff and, carrying this forward? Yeah. Okay, seriously, at this point, it does not look like the investigation is going to yield ultimately a lot of nothing. There may be some scary moments here and there. There may be talk of people getting charged, but it's not going to be, somehow it's as if it's not going to actually come to fruition. So that is something good to hang on to. Okay, so I think that's it for today. I'm wishing all of you a lovely weekend. I hope you have time to decompress, turn off the crazy for a little while, and be prepared for a lot of those shiny red balls. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy the planet. Enjoy the earth. Enjoy your friends and your family. Just take some time to simply be, and you'll all be better for it. I will see you on Monday, unless something crazy happens over the weekend. Take care. Be well. And I will see you soon. Bye.